Jake, can you tell me what flies and wobbles?
What flies and wobbles?
Yeah.
No.
A jellycopter.
Oh, that's so bad.
Anyway, Series 2. Series 2, yes.
Here we are.
Before we properly get into like the meat of Series 2, we've got the 2005 Christmas special, The Christmas Invasion.
Meat.
Last time we were here, you told me that you don't like Christmas-themed things.
That is correct.
But does that actually make you think you're not going to enjoy this?
No. I don't like Christmas songs.
Oh, sorry, a small anecdote. It has some relevance, but today I was in a cinema and they were playing Christmas songs. It's fucking May. It's May. Why are they playing Christmas songs?
And at work the other day, my workmates were singing Christmas songs. Be depressed!
Yeah, fuck your jollies.
Now, there was actually one thing I was supposed to say during the recap.
Yeah.
About the long game. So, I was talking to my friend who's only watched Series 1, and then after Series 1 he had a whole bunch of uni stuff to do. And then I asked him, have you seen any of Series 2 yet? He's like, no, but I rewatched the long game. And I'm like, of all episodes, why would you rewatch the long game? But apparently, he was doing it was an essay or something on news media.
Oh.
So he used that as reference to what could happen to media in the future.
Cool.
That's
That's
pretty cool.
smart.
Very cool.
Yes.
Who was that?
His name's Kawan.
Oh, yeah.
Good on you.
Yes. Anyway,
Nice one, Kawan.
I can confirm that we will definitely be watching Torchwood when we get around to it.
When's
And
that?
after episode... Ooh, I need to get my maths right. I think it's after episode 9.
Okay.
9?
Yes, I think that sounds about right.
Yeah, it's after episode 9. That's when we watched episode 1, is after that one. Yeah. And... yeah, I think we will watch the other one as well.
SJ.
SJ. Oh, you actually know what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sarah Jane Adventures.
Oh, well. Oh, spoilers. Anyway, we'll probably watch that one too, but that's a bit later, I think. Anyway, so should we get on with it? Watch the Christmas Invasion. Are you ready? Are you ready to see some?
I've got my coffee and I'm ready.
Hey.
Well, hopefully David has some cocaine as well.
Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's watch it.
Cool.
Holy night. Holy night. Wah, 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 yeah.
Is this intro shit?
Dun, 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 dun,
Same
dun.
one from Rose.
Is this Star Wars?
It's the same intro from Rose, remember?
Yeah.
Now, does Murray Gold have an orchestra now?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Murray Gold. Fuck. No, no.
It's very readable.
To a Rose. Merry Christmas from Mum. It's me imagining
Mickey.
her doing it.
Mickey.
Oh, Mickey's a fucking mechanic.
There he is. Dressed the same way I am. Whoops.
Oh, he's had about 2 cocaines at this point.
Is he alright? That's the doctor. What do you mean that's the doctor? Doctor who?
So the whole show, the whole name of the show is just a joke.
Kinda.
The whole show is a joke.
Oh, the music's kind of changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's orchestral now.
Yeah.
It had like
Murray Gold's
a
upgraded.
yeah.
He's leveled up.
There's like synths in the background that like
Yeah, it's cool way. This is my favourite version of the theme, by the way.
Same. Actually, no, that's a lie. The TV movie's my favorite.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Both working. What do you mean both?
Not too hard.
Oh, don't be stupid.
Have you got 2 sugars in your coffee, Jake?
Who else has got
I got none. I haven't got a heart. Wow!
That was some sports camera right
Some
there.
time warping going on.
Little sperm came out his mouth.
A little time sperm, ready to impregnate the universe.
Yeah. David Tennant spreading his seed.
Jesus Christ.
face or has been going on? A month or so. First of all, he starts to live into the
Do you think it's a Rose thing or a Billy thing?
You know, it's a bag of oranges.
I think
Well,
it-
I've never seen her do it in other performances.
Oh.
She on the telly. Prime Minister.
Ah,
I'm 18 quid a
Harriet Jones?
They call it Britain's golden
she's the Prime
age.
Minister.
Yeah.
Keep on saying my Rose.
Now that's where you're wrong. I completely disagree if you don't mind.
So polite.
This is the spirit of Christmas.
God, look at that beard. Making up for his bald spot. He's
His hair migrated.
so enthusiastic. Oh shit, look at that CGI. It's like in Carter.
Yes.
That is the most Star Wars thing I've ever seen.
Mickey, you're too good for her.
You just forget about Christmas and things in the TARDIS. They don't exist. You get sort of
He doesn't know it.
timeless.
He's on the whip.
He's got low self-esteem.
He's a mechanic.
Mechanic? Mechanic?
I thought we're leaving the jokes to the start of the episode.
This is the start.
Oh.
Whenever I hear this brass band, I can't help but think of that Mr. Bean skit.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I feel like their story would work if Mickey was a total geek,
Yeah.
but he's actually like pretty handsome.
Yeah, he's
So like, why the? What's the issue?
Yeah. I didn't-
I mean, he's not David Tennant, but
No.
he's pretty handsome.
yeah.
Are these more Autons?
No.
Oh.
Christmas themed Nestine.
Just a remake of Rose, but
Just
on Christmas.
Are they? Is it Cybermen?
no,
No,
it's not
not
the
yet.
fucking Cybermen.
Oh.
No,
Jesus.
but I appreciate that you're bringing up these references.
I imagine Santa Cybermen. That would be the death of me.
Oh man.
Yeah, she just just never noticed the place. Yeah, no, I'll come.
She's such a good mum.
Yeah. She, for all she knows, this isn't the Doctor.
Yeah.
She's just taking her Rose's word for it. But like,
She's giving a stranger a cup of tea.
yeah. But then again, she did try to seduce Christopher Eccleston on the day she met him.
Oh, the flat's all topsy-turvy.
Look, I'll have to wait.
But then again, Christopher Eccleston looks more close to her age.
True, true.
My friend
fuck?
Daniel said to me, he
Oh,
looked
no.
at me and he said, "You cannot explain this." There is no sci-fi explanation for
Even
a
for
flying tree.
Even for Doctor Who, this is silly.
Mickey took it so seriously.
And they've got the jingle bells playing in the background.
Whoa. The music as well. This is hilarious. That's about 4 cocaines now. Oh, bit of a dressing gown going on there.
I just realised that that music, that little jingle, was dashing through the snow, but all spooky.
But all Murray Gold
Yeah.
style. Yeah.
I need more cocaines.
I'm bursting with energy.
What are all these orgasmic sounds?
He's in labour.
Why are they all touching him? Oh.
Howard, sorry. Gets hungry. Sometimes.
Jackie.
It's so Harry Potter. I don't know. I can't get the image of it.
Yeah.
The only thing's missing is him licking his
Yeah.
lips. Barty Crouch. Junior.
He's trying to spit Barty Crouch out of him. Hello, father.
So what the doctor means is we had them, now we get that.
Ooh.
I like how there's a demonstration of a metaphor.
A big,
So it's close.
a big shark just flies in from outer space. With little Christmas men swimming beside him. Chewie?
Wookiees attack.
Crashing the Big Ben.
What was that 80s thing where that dude took over the broadcast line?
Oh, the Max Headroom.
Yeah.
Where he interrupted an old episode of Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was. Have you seen the footage?
No, yeah.
Fucked.
It's fucked. What if that was just that? It's just some dude pretending to be an alien over that. That'd
That'd
be
be
great.
anticlimactic.
Yeah.
Is this Unit's theme?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is Unit, Jake.
Oh,
The Doctor used to work for them in
Right.
the old series.
The 70s.
He was their scientific advisor.
right.
Harry Jones, Prime Minister.
Yes, I know. I don't know. Maybe he's coming for all of us.
It's like Bohemian Rhapsody.
Reminds me of Jabba's palace or something.
Who does this solo?
He's a Wanawichi. 15 Jabba. Ah, Scar! You'll bring Captain Solo and the Wookiee to me. Don't hyperventilate, mate.
Harriet Jones, Prime Minister.
Words. He's not my boss, and he's certainly not turning this into a war.
That's right, America.
Jesus Christ. Jackie is trying so hard. I love Jackie.
You want the chicken soup? Okay. Yeah, okay.
What about Torchwood? I know I'm not supposed to know about it, I realise that. Not even the United Nations knows.
Guten Tag.
Torchwood.
Well, we better start cutting down some trees and setting them on fire.
Yeah. Oh. Oh god.
Ah. I know that Torchwood is an anagram for Doctor Who.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I told you that.
Yeah.
No.
Strong cigarettes, mighty cigarettes.
Cigarettes.
Send them a reply. Tell them.
Up to, mate.
You phone who this?
Tell them.
She fell asleep by his side. She loves him.
Like as a,
Like she's so paternal to
like as family, she
Yeah.
loves him. Yeah.
she's so protective of him.
We really love him, don't we?
Oh.
That's not an answer, Rose. That's deflecting the question.
She's just young and dumb, Adam.
She's using Mickey.
She's young and dumb. It's okay.
Poor Mickey.
This happens all the time to people. Look at my blue hand!
It's the light. It's the
Sally, where you going?
That's what they're gonna start saying.
Cigarettes, say. Come back to bed!
Sansa?
When I walk down the street, I look like that. All stern.
Vacant.
That's me. Stiff eyebrows.
What if someone was in the shower when this happened?
Oh god. Oh god.
Or taking a shit.
Would they put a towel on?
No, probably not.
What if they were taking a shit? Just had a log hanging out.
Dagged sheep.
Look at these little human minds.
Ugh. Reminds me of Australia. Oh, I went up a building and I was like, where's my underwear? And my dad's like, it's on the clothes horse on the balcony of this tall building. Because we were at a tall building like that. And I had to open the ranch slider and like claw my way out to the balcony. It was windy.
Oh, jeez.
Scared of heights.
Australia's just a death trap.
Yeah.
On the holiday destinations, it's the tall buildings. In the non-holiday destinations, it's just death all around.
It's literal hell on earth.
No water and lots of animals.
I love you, Australia.
All these people tend to be
But you're here.
I hate Perth. I like the rest of it.
brothers and sisters.
I like Melbourne. I like Sydney.
Yes, rock.
Baxter, A positive, that's it. They're all A positive. How many people in the world are A positive? No idea. But I bet it's 1/3. What's so special about my blood group? Nothing.
No idea. But if I were to take a guess, it would be a third.
It's got one of those.
Like you said, a hive mind.
Ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen, if I may take a
Little
moment
picture of the
to
Queen
Aw.
there.
Elizabeth.
Henry VIII. I want to say Richard III up on the side there, but I'm not 100% sure.
So Doctor the 10th.
Spoiler for the rest of the series: the Doctor's just in bed for all of it.
Oh, great.
Rose being miserable for 12 episodes.
And then the finale, he's like, "Whoa!"
I'm back!
On the next episode, will Rose stop crying?
It's 45 minutes of one shot of the bed of the Doctor sleeping.
He keeps just blowing out his seed. That'd be pretty fucking scary, to be honest.
Yeah.
Massive flying shark.
Looks like a big asteroid. All hail plankton. All hail plankton. I'm a goofy goober. Rock.
Oh, they're
They're still rebuilding
They're
it.
still rebuilding Big Ben. What if they broke it? Fuck.
Poor London.
You know the sad thing is, it's always London getting attacked in real life as well.
Wow, that was some feels right there.
It's
That was
true.
way too real.
It's true.
O chico waka nakaugo
Are
o
you
go
speaking Dothraki?
sagaga o
Ituata. Atrogo. Do you only speak Dothraki? No.
igo waka
Is no the only word you know? No.
ige oga sigaranga munga. Oh
Have you
no!
transported onto the ship.
Oh no! Yeah.
What a great payday for David Tennant.
Jackie's trying so hard. Why would you assume they have articles of war?
Fucking rip.
Drago oga siginamaga.
Is Jake a Sycorax?
Might be.
Ja!
Is he having a cocaine hangover?
As good as it gets. Right, here we go. Nice cup of tea.
A cocaine over.
Fuck you, Rose.
I'll get the rest of the food.
God, Rose.
To be fair, I do talk to my mum like that, so.
Rose gets on my wick sometimes because Jackie just made tea to try and calm everyone down.
But
Yeah.
just, it's because she's her mum, though.
Yeah, but like,
How does this thing work?
fuck you, Rose.
Drago waga.
Have we already got, like, monsters of the season decided by Jake?
I've always loved the Sycorax design.
Cena.
Iron back John Cena.
Aww.
Jackie. That would be pretty fucking frightening, though. Knowing that your daughter's up there.
Yeah. 'Cause she could go missing for a year again and not call you. Because she's oblivious and frustrating.
That was a close one.
You wouldn't want them getting a hold of the TARDIS.
Shigowaga.
A bit of tea gets the TARDIS going in the morning.
Nothing more British than tea.
And colonialism.
And attacks.
Bit of cocaine.
You, little child. You open the TARDIS. Jagowaga!
Sorry. I'm getting taken over by the cigarettes. He's just like,
Shigowaga!
Yeah, what's it?
What the fuck is this bitch?
ah.
He's talking English.
You're talking English.
I would never dirty my tongue with your primitive bile.
Letter D. Ah. Guten Tag. Wait, that's German.
Just can't get the star. Now you just wait. I'm busy. How it turns out people fly down off planets like this in your life. How do I look?
Different.
Good different or bad different?
Just.
Am I ginger?
No, you're just sort of brown.
I want to be ginger. I want to be ginger. I'm not ginger. I'm sorry. Who is this? I'm the doctor.
He's the doctor.
What happened to my doctor? What is this table? It's just sorry. Hello, big fella.
Who exactly are you?
Well, that's the question.
I demand to know who you are. I don't know.
It's all invested. Am I funny? Am I sarcastic? Sexy? Wild?
Huh. Well, they fixed it. Who would have thought?
There is more to see than we see. More to do, you know. Sorry, that's the Lion King. I challenge you.
That's like when what's his face challenged Khal Drogo.
Oh, yeah.
Fighting in his pajamas.
Very bad.
I never thought I'd see like a medieval duel
Yeah.
in Doctor Who.
In a Christmas episode.
Yeah.
as well. In the middle
Set in modern day.
in the middle of the spaceship. In a coliseum.
What the hell? What am I watching?
And he's in his pajamas. He's
With a
maneuvering-
police box behind him.
Yeah, it's great.
maneuvering with his slippers. And the day before he looked completely different.
Man, there's nothing like Doctor Who.
And there's a balcony.
What is going on? What is this Star Wars? Who wrote this? Russell T Davies?
Russell T. Davies.
Oh, I thought so.
He's like, let's do World War III but on a roof.
Let's do Star Wars, but Doctor Who. Without lightsabers. But with lightsabers.
With sabers. Oh, it's about to get very Star Wars.
You cut my hand off.
Shawagars! Shigama.
That's cheating.
We're at about 8 cocaines right now.
Yeah.
Sokowaka.
That's weird. That's weird to me that he knows Arthur Dent.
What?
Arthur Dent from the series Hitchhiker's Guide.
All right.
I have a question about that. Why is there a button that just opens the balcony? Just removes the floor. What is its function?
I think the point is they would do it so that if they were finding someone to the edge,
I
they could
see.
push it and they could fall.
Okay, that's.
I'm very good at figuring out these
Okay,
plot holes,
yes. I'll accept that.
but I will agree it's very convenient.
Then make sure that you tell them this. It is defended.
Waja.
Just like they won a football game or something.
Yeah.
My doctor, Prime Minister.
Man, the doctor could just pull anyone.
Oh yeah, especially David Tennant.
She's just got like a rose radar.
Rose, Rose, Rose. Ah, Rose.
Located.
It's funny how like in New Zealand, if we see our prime minister, it's not that big of a deal.
No, we're just like, oh, there she is.
Yeah, it's like, oh,
You
g'day.
just did a video with her in it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like me and my dad saw John Key at a gas station once, and he was just in his like board shorts and t-shirt, and we were just like, oh, g'day, mate. And then he was like, oh, how's it going? Was it?
Hold them to fire.
Oh,
Them.
at the cigarette. Aw. No. Why?
Cigarettes. Ooh, the look.
What do you say?
Don't you think she looks tired?
What the fuck? I hate Christmas.
Oh, that's the season 18 scarf.
Yeah. There's the-
I was getting tired. I wanted to be at the pub, and then I turned into Peter Davison.
Pretty much.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, is he in a suit this whole season?
Yeah.
Hell yes!
Oh yes.
And he's wearing Converse as well.
I like that.
Yeah, he's a good-looking doctor.
It's a cool wardrobe.
What the hell? The TARDIS just went full wardrobe.
Yeah, the TARDIS is like not just the console.
Oh,
room.
right.
It's like as big as Narnia.
It's huge. Yeah.
Oh, she likes the suit.
Who doesn't? Look at him.
True.
I like how he put his coat on just to take it off again.
Oh, it's snowing.
Ah.
What?
We'll get onto it much later. But I just noticed something.
And what about you? What are you going to do next?
Well, back to the TARDIS. Same old life.
On your own?
Why don't you want to come?
Well, yeah.
Do that.
What? I missed something. What?
I noticed something too.
What?
I've changed.
Yeah,
I'll tell you later.
Okay.
Fucking hell.
You might not want me anymore.
What?
Is it to do with the music? Because the music.
No, it's not the music. It's the dialogue.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Just so much out there.
Well,
Oh my god! What the fuck?
Got to.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You don't know yet.
we'll get onto it. I'm trying to piece together what.
It's gonna be fantastic.
A little bit of Eccleston left in him.
Yeah,
Yes, gives me the creeps.
but just not northern.
Yeah, he's
No.
not northern.
And it is going
He's,
to
he's
be
even more northern.
fantastic.
David Tennant's from further north.
He puts on the Cockney accent now. I've always wondered if he actually kept the Scottish accent.
No, hold
I wonder what it would have been like.
Yeah. But like,
Maybe a bit jokey.
yeah.
Yeah.
Bit like Capaldi.
Or McCoy.
Yeah, oh god, yeah. Dividing one universe from another. Oh, spoilers!
So, Jakey boy, what did you think of the Christmas Invasion?
I really liked it.
Yay!
Awesome.
It was a good little intro. Well, I mean, it was a good grand entrance
Yes.
for David
yes.
Tennant.
Yeah.
Even though it was like mainly towards the end, but it hyped up the entrance and like
Yeah.
the start of David Tennant. Like it was a
Yeah.
big build up to him, his full
Yeah.
entrance. In terms of other characters,
Wait.
Oh, okay.
We're not even into the characters.
yeah, sorry.
I just wanted to know what you
Sorry,
thought of
sorry,
the damn
sorry.
episode.
Sorry, mate.
You're just
Sorry.
excited. You just want to jump the gun.
Yeah. What's going on? What's
Okay.
cracking? How's it
Okay,
going?
You got nothing else to say
No.
about briefly?
Briefly, no.
Okay. Now, what did you think of the
Sorry, I'm just fucking up the structure here.
What did you think of the What did you think of the Doctor in this episode?
Different. He's a different man, and I like that he has a suit now. I like suits. I think everyone should wear suits. I thought that he was more, obviously because it's David Tennant, but he's more eccentric
Yeah.
and more energetic and exciting, and not that Christopher Eccleston wasn't like that.
Yeah.
Christopher Eccleston was playing a different character.
Yeah. I liked it, and I didn't think it was too over the top, which is what I was worried about.
Yeah.
That I would be a bit put off by. I mean, it is over the top, but it's not like
Yeah, I know what you mean.
it
Other
still
than, like,
feels.
the spinning Christmas tree. It's not,
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it still felt like a real performance, like real,
Yeah.
like the character still feels real,
yeah.
Yes. It was
even though it's
grounded
super.
enough.
Yeah.
I totally get what you mean.
Yeah,
Of course, that means that we have to assess. Our new segment of the
Mhm.
show, and that is, of course, the David Tennant cocaine meter, where we decide how much cocaine he was sniffing this episode. We got our 4 degrees. We've got sober, sniffing, Scarface, and fear her. Where do you think he was at?
he was definitely at. Well, so you can think of it both ways. Maybe he was comatose from a big fear her night,
Right.
and or maybe he was just completely sober. But he was definitely comatose for a while. So I'd say he wouldn't be sniffing in his sleep.
Yeah.
But you never know.
But what about at the end?
At the end, he was probably at about Scarface.
Yeah, he was pretty wacky.
And then it kind of came down at the end when he got a bit proper, got into a suit, cleaned up a little bit, went to dinner. Maybe had a little line on the way. Little cheeky
All
one.
the way out of the
Yeah.
TARDIS.
I think we can agree Scarface is the verdict.
Yep.
Yeah, I think David Tennant nailed his entry
Yes.
into this show. Nothing like a good first impression.
Yeah.
And you're right, they did a very good build up to his entrance.
Yeah.
The whole episode revolved around his
Yeah.
entrance. Yeah.
Especially when as soon as the translation circuit started working,
Yeah.
and like you it's not something you immediately notice, or if you do, you're like, oh, they're just translating it, and then suddenly the characters realize it, you realize it, the music
Yeah.
swells.
I
and
realized
there he is.
I got it straight away when he started talking English. So I'm like, the TARDIS is
Yeah.
back. It is working.
Yeah, and it's just so like triumphant. The
Yeah.
Doctor is here. The Doctor is in.
Miss me?
Yeah.
Yes.
And then when he yelled what's the name of the race again?
Sycorax.
And the Sycorax yells, he's like, "Rah, rah," and then the Doctor's like, "Rah, rah, rah."
No.
Yes, very funny.
Jesus, look at those waveforms.
I'm sorry.
That's some personality right there. What did you think of Rose Tyler in this episode, Jake?
Yeah, she was a bit that. She was a little bit that. Just a bit like, ugh.
Yeah. You can sort of see.
You feel me?
I think you can sort of see there's a bit of change in the character,
Yeah.
and because obviously there's definitely a length of time between writing the first season and this episode, and I think Russell got to a point where he kind of changed his mind a bit.
Yeah.
He wanted to alter her character a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think this is when you can start to see it happening.
Yeah. She was a bit naff.
She, like, because Mickey and Jackie around her were trying to be proactive and figure out solutions and that kind of stuff. And the whole time, like, sort of understandably, she was just worried about her friend. But you could kind of tell it was more just because he's no longer Christopher Eccleston, and she's kind of bummed that she feels lied to or cheated by him in some way. And it is understandable, but like because there are more pressing concerns and everyone else is trying to figure this out, she feels a bit sort of
A little bit selfish.
selfish and a little bit left behind by the writing.
Yeah.
And it, like it kind of, she's just
And
kind of.
I think you touched on it in Boomtown a little bit. How over time the writing for her character changes a little bit with Russell.
Well, as I said in Boomtown, I think she's way worse than here, because at least she was somewhat responsive to Mickey.
Yeah. But like,
It's
that's obviously purposeful.
it is.
It's definitely not by accident.
Yeah.
And how I also have, like, I get, because David Tennant is an incredibly charismatic guy, and the writing of that final scene is so entertaining, but how she immediately just switches back to being like, ooh, he's a bit nice, you know, like, just she goes from distressed and concerned and trying to save the world to immediately flirty. It's just a complete 180 that feels.
But that's the.
But that's very typical for a. I'm not saying that all young women are like that, because it's not true. But it is a stereotype that you see sometimes.
Well, I think it's mainly that's just the Doctor. Like
True.
you're just immediately caught in his.
And I suppose
because I feel like if I was there, I'd be like that with David Tennant as
I
well.
think everyone would, yeah.
I'd just be like, "You're the coolest guy I've ever seen."
I think
Other than Jack
whilst that is annoying, I think that is purposeful because it's trying to just show how like captivating the Doctor
I'm not
is.
saying it. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's part of the story.
Like I fully agree with that. My only thing is I just feel like it happened too suddenly. There was no sense of, as soon as he came back out of the TARDIS and winked at her like, oh, am I sexy? Like she had no doubts, and I get it. But for me it just happened a bit suddenly. There was no sort of bleeding into it, you know? It just was there already. But I do get it. I get what the purpose of it was.
Yeah, maybe she's a little bit bipolar or something.
Maybe.
You never know. What did you think of Jackie?
She was as motherly as she has been.
Of course.
In every episode, and
she was an absolute darling.
Yeah, and it's definitely some great character development for her. Sorry, I've been speaking too much Sycorax. And
don't worry, we'll get on to that.
Coming back to English is a bit difficult. Good. I think she was my favorite side character in this. Let's say. Well, companion side character.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Jackie was just, you can tell that she's at the point now where she completely trusts the Doctor.
Yeah.
She knows that Rose is safe with him.
Yeah. But she's like your quintessential mum. Like,
hell
she
yeah.
fell asleep by the Doctor's side. And for all she knows, this isn't actually the Doctor.
Yeah.
But because she trusts her daughter's word, she's stuck by him.
Yeah.
And Jackie is loyal. She tries to understand, and like she is so motherly. I really like the way Jackie's written in this episode.
Yeah, and it's like even when the world's ending, she's still gonna be the mum.
Yeah.
And she saves the day because she gets the tea.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well done,
the
Jackie.
hero of the story.
Well done. What about Mickey?
Kind of not as like in Boomtown. I really liked him, but in this, he was just kind of just developed and just kind of like.
I don't think they had much for him this time.
Nah, the only thing that really was the thing that moved him along was when he was on his computer and like was like,
oh, there's a shark.
Well, because if you remember, he was the computer expert in the Slovene Two-Father.
Yeah.
So he's going back into the research again.
Yeah. But yeah, as I don't know.
Yeah, I think they just had to have him there because they're in London.
That's the thing. Like, it would have
Yeah.
felt like something was missing had he not been there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no,
Even though he
I'm
doesn't-
still happy that he was there.
Absolutely.
Always good to see Mickey. Sad to see him like constantly being third wheeled though. It's
Yeah.
so sad.
And she leads him on so much.
Yeah. Yeah, when he was like, "Oh, you love him, don't you?" and then she leans back on him. I'm like, "Oh, Mickey, what's going on?"
Nick, you find yourself someone who's much better.
Not Trisha from the shop though.
No, not Trisha from the shop. Find someone who's brave and awesome.
Oh, okay. If you say so. If you insist. What did you think of Harriet Jones, Prime Minister?
Wow, what a fucking shift of character for her.
Absolutely.
From being a clueless, not clueless, but like from being just a nobody maybe.
Like a small town MP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To a PM and then to a murderer.
Yeah.
Like,
Does it show you that like what power does to
yeah,
you? Yeah. And
and
responsibility.
what fear does to you.
Yeah.
Fear of the unknown.
Yeah. I'm not sure if you got that or not, but that was Torchwood that destroyed that ship.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
understood.
Because
Yeah.
throughout the whole episode, she's like trying to contact Torchwood.
Yeah,
Get them
Yeah.
to do
And
it.
now the Doctor is aware of Torchwood.
yeah.
They're
They're aware of Doctor Who.
Yeah, I liked that they Harriet Jones in the first episode was sort of like the savior,
Yeah,
and this time she's not.
yeah.
She's the one that made the mistakes.
Bloody politicians.
Jake, what did you think of your favorite characters of all time, the Sycorax?
any race, like different, like fictional, is that the right word?
Yes.
Any fictional race or just like character that has a language in that way, just always, I just love it every
Tribal
single
language.
time. Yeah, I will watch. I will sit there. What's that? What I think when I watched the first season of Game of Thrones
Yeah.
with the Dothraki, I would sit in my bed and as they would speak, I would like, yeah, just by myself in my bed, just because I'm fucking weird.
They're pretty cool though, the Sycorax.
Yeah.
Cool design, cool
I
language.
love the design of the Sycorax.
Yeah.
Super like primitive, but so advanced. At the
It's
same
like
time.
tribal. It's like the typical sort of grey alien oval head.
Yeah,
But it's flesh and bone.
they look like the
It's-
Predators
Yeah, that's a good.
without dreadlocks.
I love how they have a coliseum on a spaceship.
Yeah. Oh, what a bizarre into the episode as well.
That was awesome.
But we'll get to that. I guess.
Yeah. What? I mean, why don't we get to it now? The plot. What did you think of the plot?
It was a very like tight plot. I felt like the plot writing was super tight at this time.
It was typical Russell.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it hit all the story points that you want. It's like it hit that climax at the right time. Hit the start of the third act, and everything was timed perfectly and made for a concise story. But in terms of like depth of plot, it's not that.
Yeah, it's Christmas special.
It's not that insane. New race, which is always nice to see. I don't know. It was nice.
I do like how it kind of plays with the Torchwood arc though.
Yeah.
That's one of the highlights for me
Yeah.
about the plot is that they're in the background somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, because there's Unit, which is from the classic series. So like
Yeah.
people are like, hey, fans like us.
Unit public.
Yeah.
Like they we are like you can't come in our doors, but you can know that we exist.
Yeah.
Whereas, and then there's the other side of it, the more intense side of it. There's Torchwood, which is kind of like,
Which
what are they
has,
up
like,
to?
Has I mean a little bit of spoilers, but it existed this whole time and no one knew.
Yeah,
All right.
complete underground.
And in
Yeah.
fact, apart from the Doctor and Harry or whatever, and whoever's in charge of all that shit, no one knows about Torchwood.
Mm.
Yeah, only a very select few.
Yeah.
So they're like the super secret, thing going on.
Yeah.
Side characters, we had. I'm trying to think. We had that guy who had like the bald head
Oh,
and
yeah.
a beard, and he got killed.
The guy who sent out the satellite.
That's really dark though when they got killed, eh?
Yeah.
It was insane. Like it showed their skeletal
Yeah.
bones and stuff burning.
Fucking Russell. What about him?
Oh, I don't know. What did you think of the side characters?
Yeah, he's all right.
He
Functional.
he was functional, and he had a really small role, but he was well characterized.
Yeah.
Like you got like he felt a sense of tremendous guilt
Yeah.
for this going awry, and he tried his damnedest and just fucking failed
He was
because
very
Russell
human.
likes
It was just it was just like the human counterpart.
And same with the general, the unit officer who was with him, who was basically like, no, you're a civilian, stay back.
Yeah.
He's like, no, like both those guys, they're very small roles, but they
Accentuate the humanness of
absolutely
like,
there was the human nature of
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
What did you think of the blood control plot?
Again, very primitive.
Yeah.
Like the whole idea of controlling blood and voodoo and whatnot. That's very
Yeah.
primitive.
But what did you think of the fact that it was all a hoax? The doctor's just like,
it's pretty funny.
oh, well. Yeah.
They're all just playing a bluff.
Big threatening button. Yeah, I thought it was a well done plot. I liked it a lot. It
was a very tight plot. There's
Yeah.
nothing bad about it, but it's just not. It's not like an insanely dynamic plot.
Yeah.
It's a
like
very sort of typical alien invasion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you were you expecting much worse from a Christmas episode?
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Because when you hear Christmas, you think something else. Don't
Well,
you?
the thing is, they kind of took the piss out of Christmas as well, like,
That's what I
which is
like.
why I liked it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it wasn't overly Christmassy. It was
No.
almost just a like meme.
yeah.
Yeah. No, it was basically
They
like
only really made it Christmas because it came out around Christmas, right?
The episode was 25th of December.
Oh, okay.
They always have the Christmas special
Like-
on the 25th.
This literally didn't. If you took Christmas out of this episode, it wouldn't have changed
The
it.
plot
Yeah.
didn't hinge on it being Christmas.
Yeah.
It just happened to happen
Yeah,
on Christmas.
it's like the end scene wouldn't have happened if it
Mm.
weren't Christmas,
Yeah.
and the thing shooting them wouldn't be Santa's,
No, that would have just been generic robot.
and there wouldn't have been a spinning Christmas tree, a deathly Christmas tree. playing some.
It's the most random thing I've ever seen.
even
It's
as a-
it's still not explained, is
No,
it?
even as a kid, it made me laugh. Like,
Yeah.
it was just like, what
Like,
is
is there
happening?
like an actual explanation for that?
Probably something.
It must be pilot fish.
Yeah.
Well, it was remote control,
Oh yeah, from the pilot fish. Yeah, you're right.
yeah,
But still fucking stupid.
and they were holding like a remote control
It
car,
was like
controller, like so budget as fuck.
something that you get for Christmas. Yeah. Right. Is anything else you want to say about it before we move on to the clip?
Nah,
No.
I think pretty much said my piece.
You
Yeah.
think we covered it?
me saying that it's a very simple plot doesn't mean I don't like it.
Yeah.
I still did really like this
Yes.
I
episode.
totally agree with you.
Yeah, same.
It is a very simple plot, but it's great.
It's
Yeah.
a simple plot done well.
Yeah.
Yeah, which,
Nothing bad with a simple plot.
Which can be better than a complicated plot done terribly.
Yeah.
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 The old kiss. Keep it. What? Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah. Yep.
Right. So obviously this was the first full episode for David Tennant. In the last review for Born Again, we saw the Fourth Doctor fooling around, like figuring out his face and like looking at playing games with Harry Sullivan. That looks like him.
Yeah.
This clip is also from that same episode, but it's a bit later on.
With Thomas Baker.
Yes, with Tom Baker, and it's called The Doctor and the Dandelion.
Okay. Is it an actual lion or is it a dandelion?
It's a lion in a suit.
No,
A dandelion.
it's a dandelion. An axe, just a flower.
Oh.
But that's not all that's in the clip.
Well, that's not as
It's got
exciting,
some
is it?
other stuff too that relates to the one we
Like a lion?
Rar.
Rar, indeed.
So you got two screens, so I can filter out the
Shukuwaka, Sakanwa, Rashakumwasgalaka.
Awesome. Do you think you would have liked the Slitheen more if we heard their language?
Yes.
Yeah.
There probably would have been a really like filthy
Yeah.
sloppy language.
Yeah, we'll be like,
It would sound like someone eating like really
sound-
messy pork
it
chops.
sound like Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah.
We must get moving. Oh no, not again. Face. Don't you know? No. No.
Nightmare fuel.
Well, how about this?
Hey.
Much better not tonight. You must cultivate a sense of urgency. Look. Right. Now, how did it get like that? And according to my estimation of the resistance to pressure of vegetable fiber, it was stepped on by something that weighed 1/4 of a ton. Just what you need for the control circuitry of one powerful, compact technological device. A disintegrator gun, for instance? What do you know about that?
Cheeky bastard.
What did you think of that?
He's pretty funny. Pretty funny little bloke, that man.
Bit of a different costume scene, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
You got nothing to say?
Oh yeah, it was funny.
Is that it?
Well, I mean, I don't know the whole plot.
Okay.
It was-
That is fair.
To be fair, it is just that. It's funny.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But Tom Baker's very rubbery. He's in his face. He's very elastic.
yeah.
Yeah, that's probably why he looks so alien, though.
And,
Yeah.
yeah.
Good old Tom.
We love you, Tom.
We love you, Tom.
Is he dead?
No,
No.
he's still alive.
Oh.
He's still.
He's the oldest living Doctor, isn't he?
He still plays the Doctor in audio.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Adventures.
Oh, really?
yes, audio adventures.
Finnish Productions.
Big Finish. I'm a lot older now, so I can't play on screen, but I can do.
Arthritis in my fingers.
But I can sit down in my slippers and play the Doctor.
Oh yes. Tom Baker.
All right.
Anyway, back to the Christmas Invasion.
Yes.
Doctor Who had a Christmas special back in 1965 called The Feast of Stephen.
Was it terrible?
Wait.
Oh.
Which took place in the middle of a 12-part Dalek story.
Oh.
And it was a bunch of nonsense that involved tricking the police and a film set, and at the end the Doctor says Merry Christmas to the viewers at home.
So it broke the fourth wall?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
Yeah. But I've seen it. It's like it's 25 minutes. At the very beginning, they walk into a police station and trick them, and then they travel to at this film set and they fuck up their film. Like this,
Jerks.
and like the producer's like, "Go away!" It's the most random episode of Doctor Who ever. The first Christmas special. Sadly, it doesn't exist in video form, but I've seen a really cancerous CGI animation of it with the audio attached. It's a fucking weird episode. Comes right in the middle of like the most sinister, darkest, and deadly Dalek story as well.
And
Jeez.
a Merry Christmas to all you at home.
What's going on? Like that is bizarre. Anyway, Christmas specials tend to get a bad rap from fans, but many consider this one to be the good one.
Yeah, this was good.
I found that people don't care for this episode are the ones that don't care about Tennant in general, as the entire episode revolves around building up to his reveal.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you're not into Tennant, you're not going to like this, are you?
No, God, no.
There was a lot of hype and commercial advertising for this special, and it was considered a big event. So later on, you had to find out the viewership for what it was. Of course, it was written by our mate Russell,
Hey.
good old Russell T.
Love ya.
His quote is, "It took 0.6 seconds to think of the title, The Christmas Invasion. Those 3 words just sum up the whole thrill of Doctor Who, the familiar and dangerous jammed together to make something new."
Oh. It's very pretentious. Well, not you, but like his, yeah, just a very pretentious way of saying, oh, I just used the word Christmas and added invasion at the end of it.
It's not how I read it at all.
No, not you. I'm saying that's how Russell...
No, that's not how I interpreted it at all.
What?
That's not how I see that
'Cause
quote.
I think what it is for us as old school fans, like Doctor Who's always been kind of making like a police box, which at the time was reasonably well known what a police box was. It's just on an alien planet. It's like taking something that we know and then putting it into a weird landscape. And I think that's what he's reiterating.
Right.
In terms of he's not saying, "Oh, what a genius I am for doing this." I think he's just saying that's what the show has always been.
Yep.
Taking something familiar and then putting a spin on it.
He's not saying that he's a genius. He's saying the show's genius.
No, Russell
Right.
is a genius.
Well, yeah, he is, but
Yeah.
that's besides the point. Yeah. So you got that one wrong. You gonna answer that, or should I just continue?
Nah, I just muted my phone.
Oh, cool. Yeah, good. Russell says the script was written with the Ninth Doctor in mind, and the regeneration side of the story was all last minute. Russell says he barely changed the lines at all, and there was no way to change it and have it make sense, and the idea was that Tennant's performance would be what would develop as his new characteristics.
Okay.
Which is interesting.
So what he's saying there was that the stuff at the end when
I think
it's like he's gotten over his sort of as he's described, the sort of the PTSD Doctor. He's kind of what it was had it been Eccleston, it would have been him going, "I'm moving on from my dark self. I'm lightening up now."
maybe. I think the sword fight would have still happened, but it would have been slightly different.
Yeah, I imagine Eccleston wouldn't have got his hand cut off.
No, I mean maybe, but I don't think so.
No, yeah.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah.
Fuck, I want to ask Russell this right now. Hey mate, can you tell us
Can
why?
everyone go spam Russell T Davies' email and just...
I don't think that's public. You're just looking at us like, what the fuck are you talking about? Russell wanted to have mind-controlled humans at the Sydney Harbour Bridge and the pyramids of Cairo, but it wasn't possible.
Yeah, that's quite difficult.
It's quite expensive
Yeah.
to do that.
Yep.
Yup, yes and yeah. Russell considered destroying Big Ben again, but he didn't.
That would have been funny.
Does he just hate Big Ben?
It's a big clock. However, in wide shots of the city, you can see the scaffolding around it, showing it was being rebuilt. Director James Hawes, our mate James Hawes, same as the empty child the Doctor dances. Very different tone.
Very different.
So different job for him to do.
It's more jolly.
Much more jolly. Although you thought the Doctor dances was pretty damn jolly.
The
Well,
ending.
the ending,
You, because I remember you were sort of speaking about the atmosphere. It's just the ending you found very hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, everything else was fucking dark and gritty, but the end was just... I think that's why I might have not liked it as much. Just like that weird tonal shift into... with that thing.
Whereas this is kind of not camp the whole way through, but it's because it's like you could put it in black and white, reduce the CGI to UFOs on string, and it would be a 1950s B movie.
Yeah.
Like it's that kind of thing.
Music. This is the first episode to utilise the BBC National Orchestra of Wales. Previously, all music was done via computer.
Bebop.
So Murray Gold utilised the BBC orchestra to revamp the opening and closing theme. And the closing theme saw the return of the Middle Age section, which you haven't actually heard because we don't listen to the closing theme because we don't want spoilers.
Are you going to play it?
No, I'm not actually playing that song. I'm playing a different song.
Maybe you should.
But there is a Oh, do you want me to?
No, not now.
Oh, okay. I can play the closing theme if you want.
No, that's alright.
Okay. All right, sure. Big boy. But what we will be listening to is the track called Unit, because obviously you got introduced to Unit in this episode.
What does it stand for again?
Huh?
What does it stand for again?
United Nations Intelligence Task Force.
Ah.
Yes. In fact, that clip was them at Unit.
Ah.
He's working for the Brigadier, who at the time was like the leader of Unit.
Yes, lovely Brigadier.
Lovely Brigadier. And yeah, so Unit in this episode, they had their own theme. So we're going to be listening to that.
surprisingly, I don't know if it was like if you guys could pick it up. There was still quite a bit of MIDI in that.
Oh, okay.
And you can hear it, but because like a MIDI sample will have the same sort of harmonics,
Right.
and each.
There's a slight chance he may have composed that before the orchestra came into play.
Yeah. But you can like there's some string sections in that just sound fucking so good because you can't beat a natural string section.
Yeah.
But it's just interesting how because some of it is like layered MIDI and string sections, and it all sounds really good.
Yeah.
Mm.
And like, oh, sorry, you finish your point.
It sounds so much fuller than everything else.
Yeah, absolutely. And like the
I've
fact
heard.
that he's got like the drums now, like actual orchestral drums.
Yeah, those drums
Yeah.
they're cool.
Like they sort of help bring that
Yeah.
Yeah.
oomph to it.
It's a very hype song, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like for me, because I watched this show as a kid, whenever that music is ingrained in my head as, oh shit, there's a bunch of military people wandering around,
Yeah.
something's about to happen. Like those images come to my head when I
Right.
hear that song. It's so burnt into my brain.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very iconic sort of RTD song, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good old Murray.
Yeah. I really like that song a lot. It's catchy, it's quite brief, it doesn't do a lot with itself, but in terms of what it does do, it's really good, and I think it's effective for the unit soundtrack. Right, so now we're going on to the trivia section. So, trivia.
That's trivia. And
I don't think I'm not sure if you heard it because you were I think you were saying something during the scene. But Rose mentioned the Shadow Proclamation to the Sycorax, and the Doctor mentioned the Shadow Proclamation to the Nestene.
The Nestene.
The Nestene consciousness.
Oh.
The big lava pit.
He was
thing.
talking about the Shadow Proclamation,
Ooh.
which is the thing.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind.
Is it another bad wolf?
Not quite.
Not quite, but
Oh.
it's.
It's a reoccurring meme,
I guess so.
Ooh.
Yeah.
but it's not like a big story
Yep.
thing. It's
Yeah.
just something that'll come.
Don't.
up
It's
later.
not. It's not something that has like a massive payoff or anything.
Okay.
It's just-
But it's just keep that in mind. The Shadow
Like
Proclamation.
the two sugars thing?
not quite
Wait.
that disappointing.
I'm scared to ever do that to you again.
Wait, what you told me it was two sugars, right?
That's the truth, though.
Wait. Two. Never mind.
So 1 sugar per heart.
No, wait, what did you say to me?
So,
Again?
so in the Unquiet Dead,
Yeah.
he took 2 sugars in his tea, and Gwyneth
Oh, right.
knew.
And you are like, oh, why did he take 2 sugars in his tea?
Yeah,
Right, that's
and it's because he has 2 hearts. He has
And then you
double the
fucking-
capacity for sugar.
You let me down on that one, Connor.
But it's true.
Okay.
But this one won't be disappointing.
All right.
I hope.
We hope.
I mean, Bad Wolf wasn't disappointing for you, so
No.
that's good.
No, well, that was a top
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah,
Even though we didn't really find out what the bad wolf was until parting of the ways.
that's
but-
true, but different reasons.
But it's not. Bad Wolf wasn't my favorite episode because of Bad Wolf.
No, no.
But we're not gonna get- we're not gonna get into it.
It's because you hate game shows, but you love the way that they did them in there. You're like, this is a revolution.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was also references to Torchwood,
Mm-hmm.
which you also got to keep in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Another repeated meme.
And they have a Death Star.
Yeah, Torchwood has
It
a
was
death.
very, very Death Star with the.
It was very Star Wars, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially that last like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, very Star Wars.
Wait, Was it a 44-minute
It was an
episode?
hour.
An
Oh,
hour,
right.
Yeah,
It did feel a bit longer.
yeah, it was an hour. David Tennant is credited as the Doctor, whereas Eccleston was credited as Doctor Who.
Oh,
The Fifth Doctor had the same request. For
that's a little bit annoying.
mm,
It's a debate that a lot of people have,
yeah.
and because he is credited in the original show in William Hartnell as Doctor Who, like Dr. Who.
in the episode The War Machines, the Wotam say Doctor Who.
Yeah, and I think he's in the War Machines again. He signs something as Doctor Who.
Yeah.
I feel like it should be the Doctor, though.
it is,
Yeah.
but every other there's very few instances of him being called Doctor Who, and every other instance he's the Doctor.
Yeah, because there's a third Doctor episode called Doctor Who and the Silurians.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is a little bit annoying.
But that's like a.
But I think a lot of us have agreed in the
Is it ever revealed to us why he refers to himself as a Doctor?
We'll get to that.
I've come to know when to never pester on a question.
It's a big question.
That's well, Doctor Who. That's the question.
True. But why is he a doctor?
Good question.
Yeah.
We don't.
Not what doctor is he?
I mean, I can think. I
Why,
can tell you the
Doctor?
real life reason, but in story,
The real life reason.
yeah. Well, the idea was originally the show was supposed to be educational.
Oh.
That's why they had two school teachers, and he was supposed to be the doctor, the smart one. You know.
Right.
But
The in-universe reason is different.
yeah, obviously
Right.
because they went into sci-fi,
Yeah.
it has to be different.
Yeah.
Um.
And we'll get to that, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
In this season?
No.
Oh.
Don't you worry. You got a lot to look forward to. After this episode broadcast, there was an interactive episode called Attack of the Grask made available online. I think I did play that once.
I did too.
Where you follow David Tennant around and play it. I remember playing it when I was young. Yeah. I barely remember it.
Like what it would be, it's like a point and click kind of thing, but it's a video that plays, and then it would pause and say, "Click on the right thing." If
Right.
not, David Tennant would look at you very disapprovingly and speak to you patronizingly and disappointingly, and it would break your little child heart.
No, child.
Yeah. Oh, great! You've gone and killed everyone. Thanks. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, David.
Great.
Travel back in time and do it again.
Yeah. Like, because I distinctly remember there's like a Christmas dinner scene where one of the family members has been taken over by an alien. Can you spot which one? And you watch like a little 2-minute sequence, and then one of their eyes flashes red for 2 seconds, and you're supposed to spot that. They don't tell you that that's what you're supposed to spot,
Right.
but like it's reasonably obvious, and you're like, aha, it's that person. And then you get to progress, and it's a little weird thing that has like 3 tendrils coming out its head. I don't know why I remember it so distinctly.
It was pretty fun
Yeah.
at the time. Now it would just be terrible to play.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there actual Doctor Who video games?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Not like there's no actual like big massive game, right?
They're all
the-
sort of more independent.
Yeah,
level.
because there's it's a shame because
BBC.
it would be a cool, but yeah, it's BBC, isn't it? Yeah. Apparently, the choice to make Tennant speak in a London accent instead of his natural Scottish one was some kind of imprint on Rose during Regeneration, and there was supposed to be a line of dialogue outlining it like a chick hatching from an egg, but it was removed.
Oh.
So there's supposed to be like an in-story reason of why he.
So, like, when he first spoke, when he rushed out the TARDIS, it'd be his Scottish accent. Then when he woke up again, it would be the other accent. Is that kind of what it
No. Everything happens the same,
Right.
but they would have an explanation of why he speaks like a Londoner
Right, gotcha.
as opposed to a Northerner.
Gotcha.
This marks the first time we see another room in the TARDIS in the new series outside of the console.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it looked like CGI to me, though.
Yeah.
I
I
think
think
it-
other than the platform he stood on with that rack of coats and dresses behind him
Yeah.
and the mirror, the rest of it was all just CGI.
Yeah. This episode was the first time television was ever permitted to film atop of the Tower of London.
Yeah. It's not the last time they have a landmark in it either.
That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah. Good old Doctor Who. We love you.
Sycorax is the name of the witch in Shakespeare's play The Tempest.
Yes, it is.
Ah.
Mm.
Well.
Tituata.
Oh,
To be or not to be.
Shaka Waka.
I've had a lot of coffee today, I apologise.
That paper is blank. Yeah. Harriet Jones' decision to destroy the Sycorax spaceship, despite the fact it was leaving Earth, echoes Margaret Thatcher's decision to sink the Argentinian ship Belgrano in 1982 Falklands War, even though evidence suggests it was actually leaving British waters.
Rip.
Based on true story.
Yeah.
So is Harriet Jones Margaret Thatcher?
She's kind of. She's less
Was Margaret Thatcher in Torchwood?
well, probably Maggie Thatcher ran Torchwood.
Wouldn't surprise
aliens.
would not surprise me at all.
Good old Maggie Thatcher.
It's a little bit controversial, actually, if you think about it. So that's a little bit controversial if you think
But
about
the
it.
thing is, from my understanding, no one in England nowadays really likes Margaret Thatcher. Like, no one looks back on her fondly.
I'm sure there's someone that
I'm
does.
sure. I'm sure there is, and that will.
Listen,
probably
there's
get comments.
still George Bush supporters, mate.
That's true.
Anyway,
I'm pro-Bush. Never mind. No, I'm not.
Don't put that on the internet.
the hand that
Can you
was
bleep
cut.
that?
Oi, Jake.
Sorry. Can you bleep that for me?
Sure.
Thank you.
The hand that was cut from the doctor is retrieved. By who though? That's all I'm saying.
Ooh. Who do?
Sarah Jane.
You think?
I don't know.
You don't even know who Sarah Jane is.
Neither do I.
Do you remember it's just some...
Yeah, just some-
Oh god. Yeah. Yes, I would say who I think has the Doctor's hand, but I know, so no, I won't.
That would be an issue.
Yeah.
The point is, someone has his hand.
And Rose said earlier in that episode, if someone had a vial of his blood, it would change the history of the Earth.
Well spotted, yeah.
There we go. So, just keep that in mind.
Yeah, roger that.
The Shadow Proclamation, the Torchwood, and the Hand.
Handy.
Three plot threads.
Yeah.
All streamlining through this universe.
That's
Whilst,
extremely camp.
whilst he is rummaging through clothes, there is about 17 references to about 17 plus episodes all in one scene.
Yeah.
For the geeks who are wondering which ones. The second Doctor's trousers and jacket. The sixth Doctor's waistcoat from the two Doctors.
Yes.
The fourth Doctor's burgundy scarf from season 18. He was actually wearing it around his neck.
Yeah.
A brass pillar from an Unearthly Child. The third Doctor's Inverness cape from Terror of the Autons. The sixth Doctor's coat from the Twin Dilemma. No one wants that cape. One of Stephen Taylor's jumpers from the Celestial Toymaker. So he left his jumper in there and forgot to take it, and then he got booted off like through a few episodes later, and
Oh man.
his jumper was just left on there. The Grand Mirror from Castrovalva. Kublai Khan's cane from Marco Polo. The Wood Trunk from Power of the Daleks. The Seventh Doctor's umbrella from Time and the Rani. The Sixth Doctor's umbrella from the Two Doctors. The Fifth Doctor's Panama hat from Castrovalva. The Second Doctor's stovepipe hat from Season 4. The First Doctor's feather hat from The Reign of Terror. The Fourth Doctor's brown fedora hat from Robot. Eliden's cloak from the Daleks. An unused Fourth Doctor costume, perhaps from a non-TV material. A kilt, presumably one of Jamie McCrimmon's. And the green Edwardian coat from the TV movie.
Yay.
It was all on that coat rack.
There's a lot, yeah.
But instead he chose that suit.
Good.
He'd look good in the green coat, though. Like, he'd look good in McGann's get-up, I reckon.
If he was in like a historical episode, yeah.
Yes.
You know which one.
Yeah.
He should wear that Viking outfit.
What, Tom Baker's Viking outfit?
Do you think I might draw attention to us?
It's quite possible, Doctor.
Oh.
There was also another costume in there that he almost picked, and it was the costume from the show Casanova that Tennant had been starring in that year, which was also written by Russell T Davies.
And he's got blue contacts in that show, and it's really weird.
Ooh, David Tennant with blue eyes.
It's really weird.
Ooh. There is a Hogwarts uniform, which is a nod to Barty Crouch Jr.
Yep.
The third Doctor was awakened by coffee, similar to how Tennant was by tea.
So,
Oh, sorry.
I'm saying the third
Yeah,
Doctor
yeah.
was similar to how Tennant was awakened
No,
by tea.
I was just finishing your sentence for you. Don't worry.
Thank you. The Doctor has never been ginger and still has never been ginger since.
That's horrible.
The closest he got was Cullen.
yeah. But
Yeah.
that was blonde.
It was dark blonde.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depending on the lighting, because sometimes it
There was a rumour that the 13th Doctor was going to be Chris Marshall, though, and he's ginger.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's not! It's Jodie!
Yay! Just don't suck.
After the events of this episode, the Sycorax that heard of this event would go on to join an alliance. But when and who with? Another plot thread.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh yes, yep, no, yep, yes, yep.
The Sycorax have their revenge.
It's like the grand finale of all of Doctor Who, and it's like the darkness comes for their revenge, and the doors open. It's the fucking Sycorax.
Being super disappointing for everyone who was not you.
I'd be fucking off my nut.
And it's in like 200 years time or something, and there's been like it's like the new series.
Rebooted 17 times.
Yeah, and it's like, what? Who the fuck's the Sycorax? The Doctor has previously engaged in sword fights in the episodes The Sea Devils, The Mask of Mandragora, The Androids of Tara, and The King's Demons.
So he's an able swordsman.
Mm-hmm. Yes. The 15-hour revelation. What was that again?
Oh, the 15 hours of his regeneration cycle with the hand.
Oh, yes. The 15-hour revelation isn't something we've seen from the Doctor before. However, there was a time lady in the old series where this did apply, and during her regeneration period, she would change her form and her clothes, and it was hilarious.
Wait, so the Doctor's been a female before?
No.
Another Gallifreyan.
One of his companions was a time lady. And yeah, she had a regeneration, and it's a little bit sexist and looking back, but basically she would just keep changing because changing clothes and stuff.
Yeah.
That was the idea. It was kind of like the scene where the Doctor was changing his clothes, right, as the Fourth Doctor, but she was actually changing her regeneration.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. In the background of this episode, you can see Route Master double-decker buses, but by the time the broadcast, these were discontinued.
Oh.
So it's actually like a plot hole. But you'd only notice if you notice.
Yeah.
Apparently there was a different original choice for the 10th Doctor, but he pulled out and moved to Australia. It is unknown who this was.
Oh.
British actor who moved to Australia.
In 2005.
Hugh Jackman.
He's
He's
Australian.
Australian. Chris Hemsworth. Never mind, another Australian.
Who wants to
Man.
move to Australia?
Yeah, that's not a good
Full
idea.
of snakes and poison. Anyway.
And Australians.
Yeah.
Oh, the worst.
Yeah. The Sycorax could only control A positive, and they said that the royal family were on the roof, even though Elizabeth, her husband, and sons are O negative. William is AB, and Harry is A minus.
Oh.
Which means something else was going on there, but was it? Another plot thread.
Oh, right.
You got about 5 now.
Wait, so
The Shadow Proclamation.
So Liz.
Torchwood. Yep. The Hand.
And the Royals.
The Sycorax joining an alliance.
Yep.
And the royal family.
Ah, they're aliens. No wonder Liz has survived so long.
That makes sense.
Has she hit 100 yet?
No.
Oh.
She's like 91, I think.
Something like that. Apparently, David Williams and Bill Nighy were both considered for the role of the Doctor.
Bill Nighy?
And
No, not David Williams. No, that would have been terrible.
I think David Tennant was the best choice.
Absolutely.
Bill Nighy.
I love Bill Nye.
Jonathan and Catherine, the blood-controlled children, are named after Russell T Davies' nephew and niece.
No.
Would have been better if it was his actual nephew and niece.
Yeah.
Or maybe they were babies at the time, I don't know.
No.
At the time of release, this was the second longest single-standing episode of Doctor Who ever made, behind the 20th anniversary special, The Five Doctors. I say at the time, though. At the time.
Put me.
The prototype of the Sycorax swords was auctioned on eBay to raise funds for the Great Ormond Street Hospital Children's Charity. It raised £920.
Way to go.
What? Only £920?
It's 1800. Or at the time, it would have been like 2,700.
Way to go, sword.
Oh, hang on, no. Yeah, like 2,700 New Zealand dollars.
3 times. Oh, $1.
At back
at the point
at the
it would've
time,
been,
yeah.
yeah.
At the time, it would have been, yeah.
Damn.
About now, but now it's like double.
Good old weak currency.
I mean, that's. I think that's an alright amount of money for
For a prop,
Yeah.
that's
a very specific hospital. May have saved like one person's life. That's worth it.
Yeah.
In the extended material, the 10th Doctor goes back to this very day whilst his past self is on the Sycorax ship, and he visits a boy in hospital and helps him wake up from his coma.
Yeah.
Just like how he woke up from a coma on this day. Right. What do you think? So, The Parting of the Ways got about 6 million viewers.
Yep.
What do you think this one got?
I'm gonna say a nice 9.3 million.
9.8.
Ooh, that's pretty close.
Nice and juicy.
Yeah.
So it's got another third on the finale.
Yeah.
Which
good.
means that there's been some hype.
Yeah.
Of
Well,
course.
was it a year between?
No, it was about 6 months.
Yeah. All right. That's enough time to build hype.
Enough time for DVDs to come out and
Yeah.
stuff.
But the thing, like, it's a week between episodes. You got to build hype up in a week. That's compared to 6
and
months.
also because it's Christmas Day, usually in the sort of the evening, people
Yeah.
gathering around the TV wanting to watch.
And it's
something.
also a new Doctor as well.
Yeah.
Um,
To be honest, that's quite low. In all honesty.
you think?
Yeah. What was Rose at again?
Like a 10, I think.
Yeah. I reckon it should have been around that.
Well, it wasn't too far.
Okay.
Yeah.
And also,
I mean, Rose
Maybe
was
even
like
higher.
16 years of hype, though.
True. You're right.
Does this high ratings number justify having a Christmas special?
Does it what?
Do you think that having this high ratings number
Yeah.
justifies having a Christmas special?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Okay.
Wait. How long after the Christmas special did the next episode come out?
4 months?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
sort of almost like halfway.
Starts in
Yeah.
April, I think. Yeah.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
I think it does.
Yeah, cool. Right, so we'll go with you first. Give your conclusion and a rating out of 10 for the Christmas Invasion.
My conclusion about the Christmas Invasion was that it was a nice tight plot. I didn't particularly love it, but I didn't not like it. I think it was a great story, and I think it was well done and well acted, well scored. Well, everything was done well.
Yeah.
And I'll give this. I think I'm gonna be because now I've got more of a palette
Yes.
for Doctor Who.
Yes.
And I understand what I like from it.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a bit more harsher on my ratings because I felt I was quite loose
Yeah.
last season. So this one's going to be about a 6 out of 10
Yep.
for me.
Yep.
That's not bad, right?
No.
It's not bad. That is just if you think 5 is average, right?
Five is like
5 is
good.
good. Yeah.
but good at
Yeah.
that.
You
Yeah.
gave the Unquite Dead a 5.
But that's 3 episodes in 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a whole season in 6.
Right, so when you say Christmas Invasion's a 6, what are you comparing that to? What else is a 6 for you?
For me, a 6. So this will be a bit weird. I would say a 6 for me from last season is about an 8.
No, but what I'm trying to say is compare it... Like,
Compare it to an episode that I liked,
yeah, no, I'm saying...
like Boomtown.
Oh, okay, so you're saying Christmas Invasion is on the same level as Boomtown?
I would say so. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
How about you?
So, pretty much reiterating everything you said, it doesn't do much daring,
Yeah.
other than the fact that this is a new Doctor and we don't really get him till the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Other than that, there's nothing outside the sort of like safety box of a typical alien invasion story. But it is all done very competently. The new rescoring by Murray Gold is great.
Yeah.
The characterization of everyone who's not named Rose is fantastic. So it's I think it's really, really enjoyable. A fun little romp for Christmas, harmless enough.
Yeah.
You get a little bit of the intensity at the end where the Doctor's like, "Don't fuck with me, Harriet Jones."
Yeah.
And hints at Torchwood and hints at things that'll come later. And yeah, it's fine. Everything it does very well, but the thing is, it doesn't do much. It doesn't reach for the brass knuckle, if you will. It doesn't try and go for that high level of intensity or this to blow us out of the water. It's very simple, and I give it a 6.5. So I rate it lesser than Boomtown, because Boomtown, at least for me, like I can sink my teeth into the character stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas with this, beyond the cool design of the Sycorax and David Tennant being David Tennant, there's not much to it for me. So yeah, 6.5. It's good. I like it. I've sat down and I've seen it a number of times and I'm never really bored during it. It's perfectly competent and I like it. Yep.
This is one of those episodes that's really nostalgic for me. I remember it was one of those ones that they always played on Sky.
Yep.
Yeah, they always had it on. Basically, to try and sum up what my thoughts are on the Christmas invasion, it's kind of like how I felt about World War III. It's that same kind of world invasion plot with a lot of fun going on.
Yep.
And I really like that style a lot. It's my personal taste. On top of that, you've got the entry of a new Doctor, and you've got those goddamn Sycorax who are awesome, and you got a whole bunch of random shit that I love, like the Christmas tree flying. You've got just semen coming out of his mouth, just weird shit. And yeah, I really, really, really like the Christmas invasion. It's one of those stories that even though I know it's not the most complex, like we said, it's very simple. I can just always enjoy watching it, and I think it actually, like I say in a lot of reviews, I feel like sometimes I like to judge an episode based on what it's trying to achieve.
That's fair.
And that was the reason why I give Father's Day a 10, because I actually think there isn't anything more you could do with that story.
No, Father's Day is great.
Yeah. So I'm going to give the Christmas invasion an 8.5.
Ooh.
Which may seem high, but that's honestly how I feel about it. I feel like it's like the Slitheen two-parter plus with the added storyline of the new Doctor. So for me, that's worthy of an 8.5, which I don't know. We'll have to see what people think of that.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
yeah. I mean, to be fair, I think we did say that my scalings are a little bit more skewed up than down.
Your one's much more forgiving than mine.
Yeah.
Mine, I love this show to pieces, which is why my ratings are so strict, because when it gets to the
Whereas I'm the opposite.
Yes, when it gets to the 8s, the 9s, and the 10s especially, I want to really be able to make the distinction of when I get to a 10, which there are plenty, when I get to a 10, I mean it. Like, I'm super into it.
That's what I felt like last season when we came to the recap. I was just too loose on my ratings, and I really need to properly
crack that whip.
Yeah.
Whereas I have the exact opposite thing with you, is I love this show, therefore I give it ratings that I feel like I think are deserving, because I think there are a lot of good episodes. And I want to be distinct when something's bad.
Oh, which we will get to.
Oh, yes.
We have opinions.
If there's anything that's below a 6 or below a 5 even, you're going to know.
Yeah.
Because when something is bad, I really want to point it out.
Which it will be pointed out.
Will be pointed out.
Oh boy, will it.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Is it coming in season 2? Is this coming?
No, this is... Well, I don't want to spoil it, but it's coming.
Okay.
It'll come.
You'll know when I don't like an episode.
Right.
And there'll be one particular episode in my mind which, oh boy, it'll probably be the angriest you'll ever see me.
On the internet.
Yeah.
Probably me too, to be honest. Yeah. After I've given thought to it over the years. To move on from that thought of what we're going to do when we get up to that in a year's time, or however long it takes, I'm going to read out some comments.
Hey, comments!
Yeah. This one is from Joanne Wilkinson, and it's about Boomtown.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Joanne.
Random fact. The Welsh words on the front of the Millennium Centre that you see when the TARDIS disappears translate as creating truth like glass from an inspiration's furnace. Another great reaction, guys. Not one of my favourite episodes, although I have come to appreciate it more with re-watches. Not far to the end of Series 1 now, as always looking forward to more.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Joanne. Thank you for the trivia.
Yeah, I think that's something that's happened with a lot of people as well, with Boomtown, in terms of when you first watch or whenever you first watch it, not necessarily when it first aired, but when you first watch it, it does kind of seem a bit out of place and a bit strange.
Which is why I was actually surprised at how much you liked it.
Yeah.
But then again, you have a very different point of view than most people.
Which
As
is what,
we've
yeah,
noticed.
yeah. Which is why Joanne, right?
Yeah.
Which is why Joanne, I agree with you that like on rewatch you get more out of
Yeah.
it. Because when I first saw it, I was kind of like, whatever.
Same. When I first saw it, I was like, this is kind of boring.
But the more I thought about it, the more I watched it. Yeah, it grew on me. And the same thing is, I don't think it's a great episode, as I expressed in that Boomtown review. I just think does its job really well.
And going into these reviews, I was actually very prepared to rank it quite highly. But then we stumbled upon Aliens of London, and I was like, oh shit.
That was a sleeper hit for me.
I was like, what has happened? How did I not see that before?
It's all my newbie excitement.
I don't know what the hell you did to me. For some reason, that episode just changed.
Yeah, it's more enjoyable when you see it from a less cynical point of view.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
We got another one. It's quite a long one.
Hey.
It's from Who BP8. And it's in regards to the Leisure Hive. I made some controversial comments about the Leisure Hive, and I haven't even seen the damn episode. So let's read out what he said. I'll say a few words in the defense of the Leisure Hive here. It's not the greatest story, but it shouldn't be regulated to the crap pile either. Christopher H. Bidmed, who I have heard has been nicknamed as Boring Bidmed before, was the script editor at the time, so there is a lot of technical jargon. But Bidmed was a big advocate for using real science in the show, so it's actual scientific terms being used as opposed to technobabble, which by definition is made up BS. I will say, the main reason why I don't have a good outlook on the Leisure Hive is because I heard a review of it from someone who was a big fan of the Graham Williams era, which came right before it.
Right.
So it's, for them, it was a big disappointment going from all this fun to this really serious take on the show.
The thing is, Leisure Hive is one of those classic episodes or classic stories that I haven't seen either. So I'm not going to comment either way.
Yeah. I feel like season 18 doesn't get a lot
I'm going to say it's great.
You shit stirrer.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised if you liked something like the Leisure Hive.
Boomtown's better than the young... never
Empty
mind.
Child?
The Empty Child.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm kidding.
But you
But
did
you-
rank it that
But
way.
it is. But I'm kidding. But it is. I'm kidding.
Bidmed does, however, say things in the most complicated way possible, such as saying charged vacuum embointment, where most people would say wormhole.
Why?
And while the tone of the plot is serious, there is more than a little fun to be had here. With the Doctor being turned into an old man with a long white beard, playing...
Gandalf?
Gandalf is the Doctor.
Oh, sorry.
People playing zero-gravity racquetball, and an army of short-lived duplicates of the Doctor and villains who are members of an alien reptile mob family, Shades of the Slitheen.
Hey, good point.
John Nathan Turner also brought in a number of new directors into the show this season and encouraged them to be more innovative in their directorial technique, something he abandoned in subsequent seasons as most of them went hugely over budget. So this story...
That sounds familiar.
So this story and several of the other stories in season 18 are amongst the most visually interesting in the series in terms of shot compositions, visual effects, and directorial choices. If you can sit through a tedious reconstruction of the Mythmakers, you can sit through this.
Point well made, sir.
Good one.
Damn.
And we have one more comment about Boomtown. I like character-driven pieces, and this episode is no exception. The only problem I have with it is the dinner scene, as I feel like goes too far into slapstick.
Yeah, I would say the comedy is good, but I would say to get that the tone and the emotions it kind of is a bit confusing.
It was a bit incongruous, I think is the word I'm looking for, and towards what the overall intention of the scene was, what the through line of the scene was, which we talked about in terms of it being them finding parallels with each other. but I guess it was just Russell trying to spice it up.
Yeah.
But it didn't necessarily work. But as we said, we love that scene.
Yeah, the thing is, like, even though I agree with you about the tone, I can't not imagine not having seen that scene now.
Yeah.
Like
Because
with the
I
dark-
just think it's so funny.
Yeah.
Because that's just my style of
and,
comedy.
And Christopher Eccleston, who's, stony-faced, serious man most of the time. Like, his big old shit-eating grin when he deflects Margaret's spray, like, and they smile at each other. And it's just... I get why people wouldn't like it fully, but I find it kind of amusing. And then immediately it sort of goes away, and then it goes, only a killer would know that. And then it takes a turn, and then...
And it actually kind of shows off the Doctor's like sixth senses.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think it for some it would be jarring because it's like these twists and turns between oh shit they're gonna kill each other to they're having a little jovial laugh.
But in the middle of that scene, she's trying to kill him.
Yeah,
too.
I know.
I see what you mean.
But
it's
just
about
all those
tone.
twists and turns.
We get it. We do. We understand the complaint. It's just
I just really enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Bit of Mr. Bean.
So, Jake.
Yeah.
Poodle.
I actually the other day I was sitting waiting for something to export, and I decided to watch the best of Mr. Bean episode where he climbs up into his attic.
it's
and
so
it was-
sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like, and it was so funny.
Did
And
we-
just that episode where he's in his car and getting dressed, such a fucking funny episode.
And he spits out and lands
Yeah.
on the plumber, and it's just,
And then it's just to get to a fucking dental appointment.
they all universally agree Mr. Bean is the greatest television show.
Yeah. I mean,
And then he takes the kid's fucking Batman his magazine. By making him wet his pants. Sorry. Okay.
there will never be anything more sad in Mr. Bean than when he had his car run over.
Oh
them.
no, that's what I mean. When he pulls
When it
up
was
the Tom
steamrolled.
Holland and it's all flat.
Yeah.
Just at it.
You know, it's Do you believe in the theory that he's an alien though?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do, because he, like, in the intro, he comes down from the spotlight.
Yeah.
What if he's a Time Lord?
Ooh, well, funny you should say that.
And he's like slowly learning the language.
Fucking Stephen Moffat.
I'm sure. I imagine you've got that somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's Rowan Atkinson in Doctor Who.
Not actual.
We'll
Doctor Who.
we'll get to it, but it has some significance to the show.
It's. You know how when we did the Empty Child review, I said that the Empty Child was Stephen Moffat's first that he wrote for the actual show, but he actually did something before that. He did one like a spoof, and Rowan Atkinson plays the Doctor.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, and Jonathan Price is
yeah.
in it as well, the guy who played the High Sparrow.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, I've got a question for you. Do you like the idea of Christmas specials? What would you like to see from future ones, and what wouldn't you like to see?
I mean, if every Christmas special was like this, then yeah, I would like the idea of Christmas specials. If it had like a purpose to introduce a new character or something like. If there was a purpose
Okay.
for it being a Christmas.
I
special,
liked how this one was sort of the preview for the new series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's literally just, I don't know, because in saying that, you could also say that like you don't need to make this a Christmas special.
No.
Like this could just not be a Christmas special and just be an episode.
It would be a regular episode. Yeah, cut 20 minutes out.
Yeah.
Easy. Yeah.
So maybe I'm wrong in saying that, but holiday themed stuff is always a bit iffy for me because because it's always just
Depends on the execution.
it's quite jarring coming from Doctor Who universe into a very human thing that's very centralized in the human culture.
I mean, but I would imagine if they were to do something Christmas themed, wouldn't you think that they would do it in sort of a Doctor Who sort of way?
But it just feels, I don't know, they just always feel so naff.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just forced and like,
Christmassy stuff is very dodgy.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, and Yes. 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 Yes.
You don't have to say, okay.
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
Right. And
Spoilers.
are you excited for Series 2, and what do you hope from David Tennant going forward?
I am excited for Series 2. What do I hope from David Tennant? Just some more fucking quirky shit, you know?
Yep.
What would you actually like to see from the series, though?
I don't know. I don't know what to... Maybe... I don't know. Don't know.
You just want to see more Doctor Who?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Fair enough.
Isn't
I
that-
think you'll get more Doctor Who. I think that's possible.
Yeah.
That's the idea of starting a new season, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Start with the first.
I was just wondering, because just, you know, now that you've seen you saw the whole first series, like,
Yeah, I want some new adventures.
you want some new adventures, a new story.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, anything else you got to say before we end it?
It's a really good introduction to David Tennant.
It is. I think so.
Yeah.
And he sort of pretty much as soon as he's in, like you can kind of tell he was born to play the role. He's just in it immediately.
Yeah.
No sort of hesitation.
But then again, that also depends on your interpretation of the character.
Yeah.
True.
Because people don't like him, mate.
Yes.
Yeah, there is a
I think that's
There
the
is a
case-
group.
I think that's the case with every Doctor, though, because there are certain things that are through line with every version of the character,
yeah,
but they're all very distinct.
exactly.
So if you're a fan of, like, say for example, if you were a diehard fan of Christopher Eccleston, chances are there would be quite a number of people who just didn't like the hyperactive Lion King quoting.
Yeah.
I don't know what I am yet,
Yeah.
Doctor. They'd be like, what
That
the
Lion
fuck?
King quote
Yeah.
was funny.
Yeah. And it's the same with Classic Who as well,
Yeah.
because
Especially Classic Who.
because pretty much every Doctor that came was almost the opposite of his predecessor.
Oh
Right.
yeah, because like literally, first Doctor was a grumpy old bastard, and then the second Doctor was literally just like this weird hobo.
He's
like,
referred to as the Cosmic Hobo.
yeah, and like he would just not pay attention to his companions.
And then the third one was an action man,
Yeah.
borderline James Bond.
And then the
character,
fourth
like-
Doctor was just literally an alien.
Yeah.
And then the fifth Doctor's just a human,
He's
just
just a
human
dude.
being. He's just like, oh, I'm just gonna be a nice guy.
Then the
And then the sixth
sixth
Doctor's like,
Doctor's
fuck you, I'm a cunt. Oh, you want to drown in an acid bath? Oh, that's fine by me. And then the seventh Doctor.
They will possess my body.
Yeah, and then the seventh Doctor started out as a clown, but then became like this really like
A god?
dark god-like manipulator.
Yeah.
And
Didn't we have trouble with the prototype?
yes, so yeah, you get they've all got very distinct personalities, which I guess is good because it means you get to have your favorites.
Yeah. And that's the thing is, if you, for example, say if you get very tired of David Tennant very quickly, I won't spoil when it happens, but eventually he changes over.
Yeah.
And there'll be a new take on the Doctor, and maybe you'll like that more. I doubt it, but we'll see.
Yeah, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Right, so that's all for the Christmas invasion. Next time we're going to be starting Series 2 with the episode New Earth.
Oh.
Any idea what New Earth might be about?
Is it a Earth from a different solar system?
It's okay. You know how there was York and then they made New York?
Yeah.
It's like there was Earth and then they made New Earth.
Ah.
Many years later down the line. Yeah.
Ooh.
So you're not that far off, like an Earth from a different solar system, because it is. But it's like,
Well, shall we watch it next week?
Sure.
it's good.
See you then.